The Breakfast Club got a special guest, the most beautiful thing in this world.
Oh gosh,
Keith Murray.
Keith Murray.
Still get in you.
What up, sir?
Man, you don't look like you aged a day.
First of all, we ain't even. I don't like you. Now let's get it popping right now. Let's get on out the way.
let's not have a repeat.
That's how we started, Keith.
Yo, let me get a drop. Let me get a drop. Can I get a drop?
Now I know you're about to battle Fredro, and you saw that interview with Fredro up here and Sticky Fingers and Onyx.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it? You didn't see him going in on?
Oh, he's stupid.
Now, what if he
What did
talk
you
crazy
think?
to you like
Yeah, what
that?
did you think?
Talking to Mike, Keith. Now, what if he talks crazy to you?
What you mean?
If he
Because y'all
calls you,
rap battling.
if he calls you a, and what else did he
Did
say?
you not say that, Charlamagne?
Tells you to do your Googles.
Well, he's supposed to talk crazy to me. That's what
that's what they're
battling
getting paid
is.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But first of all, you got a hard job. I'm not with
you telling?
nobody inviting me to the Johnny Unitas,
the genitals.
the Frank stand.
Right.
Oh, no, he didn't do that.
I heard
penis.
you was like, you said, I watched the interview, you was like, you told me to S your D? You said that.
Yeah, because it felt like he said that, but when I went back and watched it, he didn't say that.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't see him
But
either.
and all
Stop
that feel
saying
the
it.
same. I'm sorry. But it feels the same as saying that.
The Johnny Unitas is something serious.
Yeah, I don't think that feels the same.
Now, my
no.
father used to always say, if a man tells you
The
that...
Johnny Unitas feels the same.
No. My
To
father,
women.
Yeah.
Pause.
My father used to always say, if a man invites you to his genitals, be ready to kill or die.
Yeah.
One of the
they
two.
don't play
No,
that.
it's just words,
Now,
guys.
Keith. Now, we all know you're not a person that takes too much ish.
No.
So
Can we start with the rap first before we
I
get
wear
to
my
that?
emotions on my sleeve.
yeah. So you've known to been able to knock a couple of people out. You knocked a couple of artists out.
We've heard rumors of you being a bully. I've heard stories.
I was actually at one club. I was outside trying to get in, and you was dragging somebody in the snow at one time.
Who was
Who?
it?
I'm not gonna say.
Who? Say his
was it?
name.
No, you say
No,
his name.
say his
Who
name.
you dragged out before?
I dragged a couple of people. Which one you
All right,
talking
let's start.
time?
about?
Which time was this
Let's
in the
start.
snow?
Okay, Prodigy and Mobb Deep.
Oh, it wasn't snowing outside that day.
I wouldn't say it was him. How'd you know it was that one? I didn't say it
He
was
said that.
Yeah.
No.
That was true, though. Y'all did get into it once?
Yeah, I got into it. I popped his head off. Pause.
What was that about?
It was about.
When he said,
It was a misunderstanding. They said something on a record
The
like,
infamous
"Yo,
album.
I'm gonna start punching rappers in the face, talking about weed and this
The
and that."
crazy space that
I
don't
was
make no
the
sense.
always space stuff that don't make sense. I was the Philly Blunt King. Redman had how to roll a blunt,
Right.
so it was a discrepancy. But I seen him one day at
The tunnel.
no, before that. And Havoc was like, "Yo, nah, we ain't talking about you. We can go to Hot 97 and clear it up." I was like, "Nah, it's cool." But then Prodigy was the one kept talking. So then when I seen him at the tunnel, we was in the bathroom. I told my man A+, God bless his dead, like, "Yo, look at Prodigy." He was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" And Fat Joe and them was like, "Nah, chill." Then we was outside. We was leaving. We went outside. We was on the corner. So they happened to be outside. Then he was like, "Yeah, it's time. We was looking. I was like, time. They start crossing the street. So I'm thinking it's time to get busy.
Right.
So bang, pow, pow, boom, hit the ground, jumped up. He started running, started chasing them. "Come here. Hey." Then my cousins and them beat his mans and them under
my gosh.
the car. God bless the dead twin. Beat him under the car. Trigger the Gambler was across the street. He saw it. Police was like, when I was coming back, police was like, "Take it around the corner." So then by that ended. And then I seen him. We pieced it. I talked to him on the phone. Now we cool. Not cool as far as hang out, but we got over that.
No beef.
All the police
We
said was take it around the corner.
the police. When I chased him down the block.
Just take it around the corner,
And I
please.
came back. My boys was beating his boys under a cab.
Mm-hmm.
Triggered the Gambler store. And police was like, "Yo, take it around the corner."
Imagine if they had World Star back then.
Could you imagine?
Now, Dame Dash, they say you and Dame Dash got into a fist fight before.
Oh, that's a crazy story. So we at the tunnel again.
Yep. The turn,
Me and my
everything
boy,
happened at the turn.
50 grand. I'm driving in the Lexus.
Mm-hmm.
We see two girls with badunkadunks. We like, yo, boom, I hit a car. So I get out the car, the Lexus, you know the Lexus I was on, the most beautiful thing in the
Right,
world.
yeah.
Speaking of which is the 20th anniversary coming up. That
Word.
car, bing, it was crashed up. Come to find out, it was Biggs from
Okay.
Rockefeller. So I was like, I have no license. I was like, "Yo, nah, I give you the office number because, you know, I'm signed to Eric Sermon. I was like 20 years old. I give you the number. We take care of it. He was flagging police. Like, yo. I was like, nah, chill. Don't do that. I ain't got no
my
license.
paperwork.
Yeah, my
What year
paperwork
was this?
ain't right. Like 9-5.
Okay.
So, can I get some water?
All right. Go get.
So,
Can we get him some water?
So, you know, I changed the numbers. He called the office, whatever. It didn't get handled. So we was at Sweetwater's with Maria Davis. Shout out to her. So with Mary J. Blige and Brandy. So they asked me to, with Eric Skinner, he worked that job. They asked me to perform the song. So I went up there, performed Most Beautifulest. So the DJ kept messing the record up. So I was like, say the DJ. So I didn't know Dame Dash was in the house. I didn't know he was associated with the DJ. So I'm walking through and somebody punches me in the eye.
No.
Wow.
Dame snuffed you?
I don't know who did it.
Right.
Somebody did it. Come to find out, me and 50 Grand was in there. Bang, bang, bang. 50 Grand hits him in the eye with a bottle. Bang! I didn't know he was, like, eventually we scuffled. I knew it was him.
He hit Dame with the bottle?
Hit Dame Dash in the eye with the bottle.
Okay.
Bang! So, Eric Skinner, we out there. They kicked us out the club. We out there. Eric Skinner on top of the car. Come out. They like, no, shut it down. I'm like, this is crazy. Then I hear he goes to Jive, demanding 10 G's for the stitches in his eye.
Wow. Only 10?
This was back then.
Yeah.
Jay-Z never had a problem. He never said nothing. I see Jay-Z, it was peace. We was at the Apollo, though. LOD and them clashed. It was a big argument. Ed Lover was there. I didn't really get in the mix of it, but Jay-Z was in the middle of that with them. Like, and Ed Lover was like, I'm going to tell her on the radio, Keith, that you wasn't involved. You was standing on the side. Because, you know, Eric Sermon is my boss. I don't clash and interfere with the business like that.
Right.
But then I seen Dame Dash in Louisiana somewhere. And then we was kind of like, Eric Skinner knew him. So Eric was my roadie radio rep. So it was a little heated discussion then. And we used to carry razors. So he was about to get it popping.
Yeah, because of you, I almost choked on razors. When you said 96 degrees in the shade before I catch blood on my blade and you flashed the razor in the video, I was trying to do that for like a month. And I realized that wasn't a good idea.
You know, the radio, we had a crew called the Razor Cons back in Brooklyn.
Word.
Crown Heights, shout out to Brooklyn.
So you and Dame good now?
Well,
What happened in
it
Louisiana?
fizzled out.
Right.
And then we seen each other, and then it was nothing. And then, because, like, I seen him at the concert. He was standing on the wall. I would go say what up to Jay-Z, peace. And then it just fizzled out because Eric Sermon and Jay-Z is real cool.
Right.
And then like Source Money was around at that time. It was a little something like Talks of an Apollo when we did a show, but they was there and nothing really never happened, and it fizzled out.
What about you and Tupac? You said you and Tupac got into it at the House of Blues.
We did the song I Shot Ya.
Okay.
So around that time, you know, I was hanging out with Biggie a lot and seizing them, and then we went to the House of Blues. I seen Tupac. Like, peace, Pac. First time I met Pac was like, yo, you the no, you the we was peace. I seen him peace at the House of Blues. We was walking around. Then this one of his homeboys came up to me like, yo, my homeboy wanted to know if you was talking about him in the song. I'm like, who you talking about? He was Pac. I said, I just seen Tupac. He didn't say anything to me. Rest in peace to Tupac. I love and respect Tupac to death.
Right.
I'm not talking bad about Tupac or nothing like that. It's just an incident.
Gotcha.
So he came up, walked up, then he was like, nah, I just wanted to know because I got shot 5 times, you know what I'm saying, in New York. So I thought he was talking about me. It was, I shot you, you know what I'm saying? And then I was like, nah, I love you, Pop.
But you could understand
At that time, me and Prodigy was having beef.
Right.
So I wouldn't do a song with about it. I got
Gotcha.
beat. Yeah, but I can understand why he did that.
Right, you can understand him approaching you about that because you originally were on the song with Biggie, and that was.
And then, you know, his bodyguard, not his bodyguard, his man, then Pac put his arm through his man arm. We shook hands. Redman was here. The crowd was walking apart, and we was squaring off. Everybody had knives on them. I was like, but we diffused it, and it was peace after
Thank
that.
God.
So y'all
Just
never fought?
No, never. Never had any issues with Tupac.
That I Shot Your record, that wasn't really, you didn't know Prodigy was going to be on that record.
No, actually, I didn't. And he said something on the record against me
Yeah.
on the record. We was at the Apollo, And I was standing there. He was over there. I told LL, if he say that part, I'm going to kick him off the stage. LL was like, yo, it's televised. Keep your cool. But they X'd it out and they reversed it and stuff like that.
So how you and Prodigy now?
I've seen him and we're cool. Like, we talk. We was kids at that time. And, you know, when you're children, you do childish things. Now we're adults and we don't have any problems with each other. But he did put me in the book.
Yes.
And I read the book. But then he was like, yeah, he came out and admitted that he fabricated a lot of stuff.
And what did he say about you in the book?
I didn't read the book. Somebody told me about it.
I read it. I remember the part, but I don't remember. He just
I
sounded
didn't
like,
really remember what he said, but one of my peoples told me that he put some stuff that in it was inaccurate. But then it just fizzled out again because I wasn't interested in the literature of that.
You started off with the Def Squad. How did that come about? Eric Sermon and Redman. Because that was when Eric was kind of beefing with Paris. So he started the Def Squad as opposed to the Hit Squad.
Well, I'm from Central Islip, Long Island. I'm really from Roosevelt, Long Island. Went to Central Islip, moved there, and from Crown Heights, Brooklyn. So K-Solo is from Central Islip. And I used to be like hanging out, going to high school, hanging on the corner, selling hand-to-hand drugs, and Solo would come through. One of my friends was cousins with Eric, so we was like always talking about getting with E. So K-Solo, I asked him one day, I know Eric's mother moved to my town from Brentwood. He's from Brentwood. I'm from CI. So I asked K-Solo to introduce me to Eric. So he told me at a particular time to meet him on Low Avenue. So when I was driving, I seen him, turned around, went to him. He was talking to a girl. He took me to Eric's house. We knocked on the door, waited. Knocked on the door, waited. Then eventually Eric came out. We went downstairs. Eric was doing beats with the Rolling 30. Then I was spitting rhymes that I had because, you know, I was crafting for years. And then the magic just started happening. I never left him that day. We just kept going and going. But I was with him for 2 years before I even made a record, got behind the microphone.
Was Hostile the first verse you laid for him?
Nah, I did a record called Danger, which was on the Most Beautiful list. That's when EPMD was together. I used to go to Eric's house, and then I seen them going to tour. I would follow the tour bus in my hoopty and with the weed and stuff, going to see some shows. And then we was in the basement, and then a cop came to the house, a detective that I knew from my hood. But Eric was by the house. He was like, "That's a realtor." I said, "No, that's police." We was looking at guns. He had a gun in him. In his pocket. He went to the door, and he was like, he said, "Yo, come down to the precinct. We just got some questions." He was like, "All right, let me get my keys." He felt the gun. Came in the house, gave me the gun, went to the precinct, got out, and Eric went to Atlanta after that. And then EPMD kind of broke up, and then Paris Smith tried to sign Keith Murray, but I wouldn't sign with him. Then eventually Eric came back. And then I got with Eric again, and then we started making music.
Or when you signed with Paris, it's because of your loyalty to Eric?
Yeah, I mean, I was like a dude that knew Eric in Paris, took me around Paris, because Craig Mack was from Brentwood too, and he used to be with them. But we was like kind of not together with Craig Mack. We was like kind of rivalry, like. Then the guy took me to Paris, and we was in the car, I was in the back seat. He was like, "Yeah, so we're going to get the contract. We're going to sign tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, I ain't signing no contract. I'm going back to the block." And E came back, I got with him, and then that's how that happened.
Now, I remember you had some legal issues as well. How much did that affect your career? Because you were, had put out the album, everything had taken off. And
you were locked up for a while.
You did a bit, right? 97, I think it was?
Oh, yeah, I went to Connecticut, and then it was Wu-Tang and everybody over there, and then like a big brawl started. My crew, LOD, got into it, and then some kid got in the middle of it and got hit or hurt, and I was on the outskirts of it, but I was a ringleader, and then I went to trial.
You were the face that everybody knew.
Yeah, I went to trial because, honestly, to this day, I still did not do that to that person.
Right.
But I was.
And I believe you because you admit to everybody else you put hands on.
Yeah, I would say if I did it, I wouldn't have went to trial. I was like, there's no way they could convict me. People was on the stand like I seen them do it. All witnesses. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I never knew how people could just lie on people and
Right.
take the stand. But I eventually found out that the promoter had paid people
Wow.
to lie,
Wow.
and they sued me. And Jive paid $65,000 to the person that got hurt in the civil suit. But then I got 3 years for that. I would have got like a year.
Right.
But I was like, nah, I'm not doing this, because I was beat trial in Nassau for assault that I did do, and I beat it. So I was like, I didn't do this. I can prove I didn't do it. But the I took the stand, and the jury didn't believe me at all.
Damn
they
it,
just
man.
was lying. Like, yo, he came in a limo. I really came in a van. And I seen him do it. He got hit with a chair. They say he got hit with cut with a razor. It was crazy, but my life is crazy like that, because after the 3 years, I calmed down, came home, and then got a $2 million deal. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
So, were people who was holding you down while you were in jail? You were still talking to Eric Sermon all the time, Redman, everybody?
I'll call Eric all the time. I would talk to Red. Me and Redman got a relationship, like I would call him and stuff, then get with him. Like, we brothers, so at the end of the day, we all have the same agenda. And then, yeah, they was holding me down.
What did Eric Sermon mean to you back then? I remember the first time I went to his house, and it was just like the biggest house I ever seen a black person in. I mean, it had a compound, basketball court, tennis court, pool. What was Eric Sermon to you?
He changed my life. I was selling, drugs on the street, going uptown, reading, I'm cooking, I'm going to the block, and going to college, first year of college. After I had it, did 6 months, got kicked out of high school, did 6 months, got my GED in high school, in jail. Then my grandmother, she don't play. You got to go to school and do something. You know what I'm saying? So I was going to college. Then I started, because I was writing rhymes since I was 12 years old in Roosevelt with my Uncle T-Roy. Showed me how to rhyme, and I used to listen to Mr. Magic and all of that. And I heard Eric EPMD on the radio. When I heard It's My Thing, I went crazy, like, oh, Cold Wild in Long Island. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Who is this? I couldn't really understand what he's saying with the list. Then he was from Brentwood, so I was like, word, I could do this. I used to see them in the bins, riding by the block. I'm like, yo, I'm going to get with them one day. Then, I just started going there, talking, became friends with his family. His mother's my mother, and he changed my life. He's like my older brother.
The first video, everybody talks about your video. You're standing on a vehicle that people are like, this. At this time, this was a brand new vehicle. Who gave you the concept of that?
Well, the Lexus, when Eric moved to Atlanta, when he did his album, I went to Atlanta. It was Eric's car. He let me drive it one day. He saw me in it. He was like, yo, you look good in that car. It was a lease. He said, yo, just take it and just pay for it. Just pay the lease. So I took it, drove it to New York, and it was my car in the hood.
Right.
So we was doing a video on my block in CI, Carlton Avenue. And the car was there. I just like, you know what? Just shoot me on top of the car. I'm gonna get on top of the car. And I just was on the car. So
I know Eric was like, bring that car back now.
And this is
nah,
the
he
point when you
gave
had,
me the car. It was my car.
with no
So I
license.
got
You had
on-
no license at that time.
No license.
You got a license now, sir?
We
Tell
ain't
him
gonna
mind his
talk about
business.
my paperwork right now, just in case police see me.
That's envy.
But I don't drive, I get driven. Don't
Okay, there
walk,
you
I
go.
get carried.
Okay. there you go.
Did you used to write a lot? Because it seemed like you was like a lot of off the top of the head a lot. Like y'all mythological niggas is comical, the astronomical.
I
coming
really
through.
like education. I'm like a guy that really went to school, and in school I'm top of my honors and stuff like
You
that.
went to college?
First year college, New York Tech, community college, and then Eric, I got with Eric, so I stopped going to school and I became famous at 19. Started growing up in public, so I stopped the education, but I was in college for business administration. But yeah, I really like science and English and the words, and I knew coming in, I would be in the back of the class, the teacher would be talking, and words would come to me, and I would be writing rhymes and putting it in there and stuff like that, and playing basketball and soccer and sports, So yeah, education is really big thing for me.
It's interesting because you got a pass in the street, but you didn't rap about that. Like it was more vocabulary and more scientific
And smoking.
things with it.
Get lifted.
Well, I combined the streets with education and the drug in my life. It's all in there, mixed in. It's not just one thing. I would put a line of selling drugs, put a line of violence, put a line of education with vocabulary and high-minded thinking and positive perseverance and overcoming adversity and just put my life in everything, because that's how when you came in the game, you had to be original. You couldn't have this person's style, or you couldn't sound like that person. You had to be unique to stand out. So that's what my style is, all reality in life.
But were you known as a battle rapper?
Yes, I battled.
You battled Big Daddy Kane once,
Big
didn't
Daddy
you?
Kane.
I traded verses with Big Daddy Kane. My uncle Born, God bless the dead, from Crown Heights, was Big Daddy Kane's bodyguard. So me and my cousin Driss would always be around Uncle Born and be in the studio and listen to music. And we would go, like when Kane would go to shows, we would go to the Coliseum and be the little kids at the show. And then Kane had a birthday, and we went to Canarsie to the diner, and Uncle Born had the video camera, and he was like, "Get in there, Keith. Keith, it's your turn." So 16, I went over there, Kane at the table, and I was rhyming, and he rapped, and then he asked me how old I was, like that, and then it started happening. Then my Uncle Born took me around the Juice Crew and G-Rap. Got a videotape to this day that I never released of me rhyming with Kane and G-Rap and Biz Markie and things of that nature.
You waiting on to put that out?
Nature, by nature, just haven't put it out, but I will put it out when it makes sense and things of that nature, when I can capitalize on it right. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to put it out and not reap the benefits from it.
Which
Now,
brings us
even
to this battle.
What?
You and Fredro. Now explain this battle, because I heard there's rules. Now what kind of rules are in this battle?
Well, the battle, this is a unique situation because I got a phone call, and they was like, "Yo, would you be willing to battle Black Rob?" And I was like, "Battle Black Rob?" Like, yeah, I would be willing to battle Black Rob. And they told me about the situation. But then Black Rob didn't do it. Then Fredro came into play. Like, yo, Fredro said he'd do it. I was like, word? Fredro, for real? Okay, this is interesting. Then we got on the phone, me and the guy who put it together named Amir of MC War. So they was like, yo, we're going to rhyme to 3 beats, 2 verses per beat, and y'all can battle like, you know, rap is battle.
Right.
And then I talked to Fredro like, you mean what type of battle? Because I could be very disrespectful. I got 2 grandmothers, Dolly Mae and Boo, they're 80 years old to this day. And they're the head of the families, and we got big families, and everybody talk, and you know what I'm saying? They from Charleston, South Carolina.
Word.
So
It's my hometown.
you can't say nothing to me, and I'm not gonna say nothing back and walk away and not feeling vindicated. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of how I am. So I was like, talk to him. He was like, yo, you want to battle? So I was like, okay, yeah, I would battle, and I would be very disrespectful from the door. But I'm friends with Fredro, but I don't know how this is gonna turn out after the battle.
So there's no rules. There's you just battling straight up and down.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip Fredro a new.
So now, what
Pause.
happens if he says something a little disrespectful? Do you consider it a battle, or if he
They have
invites you
to
to
say
the
disrespectful
I
stuff.
expect him to say
That's what
something
you're supposed to do.
disrespectful because I'm gonna say disrespectful.
Yeah,
if he
battle.
invites you to the genitals?
That's in the battle. I mean, we're not gonna at the end of the battle beat each other up for something that I didn't like. He said, if this is like 10
signed up
years
for
ago,
this.
I probably would have been like, "Oh, word!" But it's a battle. I know the nature of a battle.
And
I'm
it
not
says if
gonna
you guys
take
touch
any.
each other,
yeah.
you get disqualified. So there's no touching, no nothing.
We wouldn't touch each other anyway
Right.
because we have a respect for each other. No man would touch another man not unless you're gonna know that you're gonna have to defend yourself. If you back a roach in the corner, he's gonna defend himself.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
I say whatever you want. Just don't put your hands on me.
Yeah.
So
You
y'all
know
gonna
you
be
got to
fa-
bring
y'all-
up, you got to bring up Charlemagne in the battle now, because that was, you know,
What are you gonna say about me?
No, he's saying Keith Murray shit.
yeah.
Oh.
Keith Murray
So y'all
should
gonna
bring-
be face to face.
big man.
What you saying, Angela?
No, it's saying he's calling Charlemagne
She's
big
drunk, man.
in
Don't
the
pay
interview.
no attention.
You be drinking on the air?
Yeah, she drunk as hell.
I was just
Mimosas
reminiscing on
every
our
morning.
interview.
I'll be watching a lot of interviews. Everybody interview try to talk to you.
No, they don't.
Big Sean was going at you.
And she
No,
won't
he
give up no.
wasn't.
Nothing.
No. Nobody does that.
You're very beautiful. Matter of fact, you're the most beautiful.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew he was going to do that.
Hey, why'd you decide to use your real name instead of a rap name? Because when you used to battle, that wasn't you didn't go by Keith Murray. right?
Well, I started out as Keefy Keef, you know, with that Keefy thing at the end of it. Then I was MC
So Chief Keef owe
Damage.
you royalties then?
Huh?
Chief Keef owes you some royalties for that?
Nah.
Oh.
Then I was MC Do Damage, but you know, all these names. I'm Keith Omar Murray Jr. So if I'm going to take a name on, it would have to be my father. I look up to my father. He's a high-minded thinking, God bless the dead. And everybody would just call me Murray, Keith Murray. I play sports a lot. So you would just hear Keith Murray, Keith Murray. You know what I'm saying? So Keith Murray, Keith Murray. If I'm not going to take nobody's name or sobriquet, it would be Keith Murray.
Gotcha.
And it just naturally happened. I'm on reality, so I'm straightforward like that.
Is there still a Def Squad?
Yeah, there is a Def Squad. Def Squad is in the works of putting out El Nino Part 2 coming soon. So look out for that, definitely. We was in the studio not too long ago working on Eric's project, doing songs for Eric. So Def Squad is definitely in the works. Shout out to the Def Squad.
Now, was there ever a point where you, because you know you are a rapper that's big on vocabulary, do you remember the time when you started listening to the radio and listening to music and be like, nobody cares about vocabulary no more? They saying anything.
Well, hip-hop has grown and a lot more people is participating in it. So you got different people from different cultures doing hip-hop, and everybody has their own lane now. So you got to get in where you fit in and make what works for you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a chameleon. I could do all different types of hip-hop and different types of catchphrases and just hooks too. I'm a lyricist, but at the end of the day, I still want to be regarded as an artist that people like and say I contribute something to hip-hop unique that nobody else has.
Now, have you seen the Joe Budden battle when they did the battle about a month ago?
Yeah, I saw it.
What did you think about the battle?
I liked the battle. It was nice, but I just think that at one point, Joe Budden lost focus of what he was doing. Therefore,
Do you think it was Hollow the Don talked about his moms? You think that was it, or when he stopped and was like, "I'll f you up"?
I don't think that it's no holds bars in there. You know what I'm saying? For me, like type of person I am, I would expect that. You know what I'm saying? So is every which way but loose for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not like, yo, you can't do this or you can't say that or you gonna get mad at this or mad at that. You're supposed to get under somebody's skin. Right. And if you do, then you're doing your job.
Have they released what the odds are in this battle? Like, I know it's happening September 28th in Atlanta, but guys in the room, we did this before. Who do you think is going to win between Fredro and Keith Murray?
Keith Murray.
And that's not biased, you know.
Why do you think Keith Murray will win?
Because I've listened to you over the years, and you come off as a battle MC.
Absolutely.
Like Fredro don't come off as a battle MC to me.
Right.
He's a good rapper, but he don't come off as a battle MC.
Yeah, I'm a lyricist. I dramatize and I come with controversy and I'm very entertaining and I get crowd participation and I do spoken word too. It's to a beat. If it wasn't to a beat, I would really kill him.
And why are you doing it to a beat? I didn't understand that.
That's the concept.
What it is,
yeah. So they sent us beats too, and we write into them. So I'm gonna kill him even more on the playback. When you listen to it more and more, it's gonna get bigger and bigger. How I'm gonna be dominant.
No, that's how I felt first time I heard Hostile verse. I listened to that verse at least 1,000,000 times. And that one line, the medulla, cerebrum, cerebellum, you got a crew, you better tell them. I just thought that was the hardest I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Now, can we hear something?
I can get ignorant and I can get educational and thought-provoking till I mix it all up. That's the beauty of hip-hop.
Can we hear some bars this morning? You got something?
I never see people rhyme on the breakfast show.
They do.
Greetings, yes indeedy. Let's get on with the proceedings. Time for Fredro beating. I'm going to break him down like baby feeding. Like, Fredro, get on out of here. Change your dirty drawers. Keith Murray, you mother, only mother that I am is yours. There's no peace without no hardcore laws. And we must profit from the lessons that we paid for. Furthering the torch with the fame for the richest flame, the glory, because America loves a good comeback story like my Travolta soul to bring your drama to a halt. When I'll pull a big gap like you, go insane and bolt like Usain Bolt. like Usain Bolt. Like, hey, it's the American way. Like 2 shotguns, a black and an AK. I'ma smoke his boots, disinfect his static. Keith will step it up like I was walking towards the attic. Like 2 black thugs who come back when they spray. What date, what time, no snitch, I won't say. How we rob you for your cookies, no Keebler elves. I'ma blast his soul out his body, then he'd really be beside himself. I got caught less times than the nigga got away. Escaped to Kings County like good looking BK. I am of the streets, LOD's the heart. And we got more guns than your local Walmart. True rap love I attract when I display. And my voice is like sunshine on a rainy day. Back to the scene of the crime, which is suitable, with a hardcore universal flow that's so beautiful. Approachable, sociable, fun to be around, laugh and joke with you, but don't try to take me for a clown. Moray, a running rebel, UNLV. Keep running, rebel, I'll catch you in LV. How I'ma get up in this something colonoscopy. Any chance for Fredro? I'ma get up in this something colonoscopy. Any chance for this kid is finished bisectomy. I don't rap like him, he don't rhyme like me. We the total opposite, laws of polarity. They try to do me dirty, but you know I remain clean. And you haters be killing yourselves. Murder scene. Get your illest poem writers. Bring your sickest flow biters. And I bet I'll put them all to sleep. Murrayiters. I get better and tightest with time. Y'all get sloppier. Your whole disposition is fishy. Tilapia. Dummies must be smoking that G money. If you think Murray ain't got it wrapped up. Mummies. You can try to pretend, but the streets ain't feeling ya. You rappers is dead. Necrophilia. And go to war, why try it? When you ain't eating no bread, your pockets stay on a low-carb diet. So don't scream, how come, Lord? When you see the outcome, Lord. A.K. Wendell, Malcolm, good Lord. I'm the urban symbol of criminal masculinity. Bullpen therapy couldn't f*** with me. I'm the urban symbol of criminal masculinity. Bullpen therapy couldn't f*** with me. Cause my imagination is a powerful reality, creative infinitely, push the boundaries of artistry with great worth ethics and culture integrity, simplicity, godly sincerity with sufficiency, vigor and energy with such vitality. My momentum is frenzy. Keith Murray got velocity. So don't get crazy, cause we can get ugly with cruel and unusual punishment, death penalty, wildlife, Nat G.O., our OG. Don't become a victim of the pine box theory, cause you don't know me or my shooters, Ginobili. I fan the flames of fiery controversy. Your opinion is frivolous. It has no validity. So I don't take your criticism personally, but I will split that wig like 2 10s for a 20, effectively, effortlessly, accurately. The way I do it is counterintuitive. So fly in the booth, I need a stewardess. Mind traveler, chronicler, flow conqueror, all connoisseurs concur. I sail the 7 seas and lighten continents. I don't know whether to laugh or cry at your peasantness. It's all heartfelt, the way I'm melting this. 16,000 degrees Celsius, out of this world, you know, I'm a rocket. Anytime they blog it, Murray a hot topic, there's no perfect people, just perfect moments. And this here moment feel perfect to you, don't it? Elaborate, fabric, poetic, fabric. Hip-hop's my habit, and I gotta have it. Not your average out the ordinary, forever evolutionary Mr. Keith Murray. So you see, it ain't no biggie like Smalls. My duty of it all is be the beauty of it all. Speaking of which, 20th anniversary, Keith Murray. Check it out.
All right. Keith Murray, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Breakfast Club.
Yo, I gotta give a shout out to Slick Rick. We did the Central Park Summer Jam 2 weeks ago. I did 2 songs and brought out my idol and all yours, the greatest storyteller, Slick Rick. It was phenomenal. Word.
Well, look forward to that battle. It's Keith Murray. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.